My name is Merinda, and this is my story. When I was 1 month old, I was taken out of an abusive home and placed into foster care, where I lived for a few years. And I was finally adopted when I was 3 years old by an amazing couple. They're the most loving, wonderful people I know. My parents always say nobody's perfect, but in my eyes, they're pretty close. I grew up in a godly home. Everything they did always pointed to the gospel. I was always very curious when I was growing up, wondering what my biological family looked like, if I had any siblings, how many, things like that. So I did search for them on and off over the years, but I always came up empty-handed, hit a lot of dead-end roads, and just couldn't find any information about them. Matthew and I met in high school, and we fell in love after we graduated in 2001. We were married in 2003, and we became pregnant with our first child, Jude, in 2006. I went to the doctor when I was pregnant with him just to have all the regular tests ran and some extra, since I didn't know my biological history, and received a phone call at work one day letting me know that I was a carrier of cystic fibrosis. It was then that I became a little angry and a little frustrated that I didn't know my medical history, all the things people take for granted. You know, if twins run in your family, or if you have high blood pressure. It was those kind of things I really wanted to know. It wasn't fair that I didn't know them about myself. So I tried one more time to find my family information, and I scheduled an appointment at the courthouse to have my records pulled so that I could review them. I had to go to the courthouse that day by myself, and I was terribly nervous. When I got there, the clerk saw me, and it really was a scene from a movie. She went down in this dungeon-style basement and brought up this big, dusty book. She blew the dust, and a big cloud of smoke appeared, and she handed it to me and opened up to my record number and left for me to read in private. And there it was that I found page after page. All of my records had been exchanged for my adopted family's information and my new name and my new life. Looking back now, I see that moment as a clear picture of the gospel. There's no better earthly picture that I can think of than someone adopting a child into their home and their family. And it reminds me of a passage in Romans. For you did not receive the spirit of slavery to fall back into fear, but you have received the spirit of adoption as sons, by whom we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit himself bears witness with our spirit that we are children of God, and if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and fellow heirs with Christ, provided we suffer with him in order that we may also be glorified with him. This is a story of the gospel. He's given us a new name. He's erased all our past. He's given us access to him, our Father. He's made all things new. So be encouraged today that God sent his Son to rescue us from all our shame, our past, our failures, our regrets. He has made us new. And this is my story of adoption. This is our story of adoption. And this is the gospel. God truly is the best storyteller. I am Merinda, and this is my story.